What heathen? You want to be in the video today? Okay. No snoring today, okay? Are you set up now? That's your spot? Okay. What's up, guys? Good morning. How are you? Welcome back to yet another comic book review. This is the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie. Let's get into it. So I have recently delved into the world of comic books. I can't believe I never ever bothered with comics in all of my years of reading. I have been reading avidly since I was a little tiny tot. That was the highlight of my life as a child. Every Saturday my dad would take me to the library and let me pick out a stack of books. So I just can't believe that I never got into comics. I guess I just thought that I wouldn't be interested, that they couldn't tell a story with pictures. I don't know. I mean, I love cartoons. As a teenager, I would literally set my alarm clock to get up and watch X-Men and then go back to bed. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But you know what? All there is to do now is to make up for lost time, and that is exactly what I plan to do. So I had the extreme fortune of being emailed. I can't remember if they saw a video or a tweet or something. At any rate, I had a gentleman email me and ask if he could send me the first 5 issues of a series that he co-wrote with another gentleman. And he kind of told me a little bit about it. Well, what is absolutely hysterical is this guy, I don't think I've ever mentioned it on any social media and any previous videos, but I grew up as a huge fan of wrestling. And when I say huge, I mean I watched every Monday night. I was in front of the TV watching. So my Monday nights consisted of WWF, and then I recorded WCW and I would go back and watch it after the fact. Thursday night SmackDown, pay-per-views at friends' houses. I mean, it was everything. Kind of lost its magic for me when WCW and WWF merged into WWE, and in my opinion, a lot of the greats left. And when you grew up with The Undertaker, Sting, Ric Flair, you know, the Four Horsemen, Mick Foley, Junkyard Dog, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and of course, the biggest badass of all, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, hell, even Vince McMahon was entertaining. You can't come after the generation of DX and tell me that there has been anybody as fantastic as those in today's world of wrestling. You just can't. So, as you may have guessed, the comic that I am going to discuss with you today has to do with wrestling. And when I read in the email the title of the comic book series, Invasion from Planet WRESTLETOPIA, I was in. I emailed him back so quick, fast, and in a hurry. I said, yes, I would absolutely love to read these. Now, he sent me the 5 issues that they have out. I did not pay for them. He did not ask me for a review. He just mentioned that would I give him a look, tell him what I thought, and maybe be on their podcast. And I was like, yes, absolutely yes. And so he sent me the link. And so this past Saturday night, I was reading Malice by John Gwynn, and I was like, ooh, okay. I was having so many character introductions that I really needed to stop and kind of get a grip on the characters I'd been introduced to at that time. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take a break from this and pick up the first issue of Invasion from WRESTLETOPIA. And then next thing I knew, I had read all 5 issues and left desperately wanting more. From what I recall, all 5 of these issues are copyrighted 2019, and they are written, oh gosh, I'm totally going to say his name wrong, but I'm going to try my best. But they were written by Ed Kunel, and Matt Enton, and they have a company called Suspicious Behavior Productions, which they claim to have founded in order to waste money. You know what? I'm gonna put the rest of the team, I'm just gonna put their information on the screen for you because I just know I'm going to butcher names and I don't want to do that. What I love about this team is each issue, they of course listed all of their names, all of the names of the people involved, and every issue they had different like wrestling names. So I took great joy in reading that. You know, y'all know me. I love the little things, the little details, the little nuances that just make it stand out, and I loved it. Each issue also had a page of ads, which was hysterical because I know y'all remember like back in the 80s and 90s that, you know, that everybody came out with a music album and, you know, sold like the CDs where you got like 12 CDs for 1 cent and you're stuck with a subscription for a year where you paid $20 a CD. So it's really, really cute. So another thing that Ed shared with me in the emails is the 6th issue. They are hopefully going to release in May, and he said it's going to be a doozy. So I am super looking forward to it because when I emailed him back after I demolished all 5 issues, I told him, I said, my only complaint, there's not enough. I want more. They are on the shorter side, but they are beautifully done. There is nothing that I did not love about these. It is brightly colored. It is rich with color, which appealed to me. It was the colors that just really, that totally went with the 80s themed wrestling. Trash talking was on point. The dialogue was just perfect for wrestlers. I would 100% recommend this book if you have ever been a wrestling fan or you're one now. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, if you just want something that's gonna make you laugh and bring you joy, or you appreciate beautiful art, you will love this series. So here's a brief description I found on Comixology. So this is about the first issue, which is called A Date with Destiny. Boy Scout Bob Schultz, Cousin Orville, Mini Macho, Kodiak Jack, Spanish Rose, Dong Fong Wong. These are all the megastars of the 1984's AWF. Rock and roll Roy Landell isn't getting the respect he thinks he deserves. So one crazy night, he ups the game, declaring himself the galactic champion of the universe. But it turns out AWF fans aren't the only ones listening, and the denizens of planet WRESTLETOPIA aren't going to take a challenge like that sitting down. Yep, you guessed it. Not only is this about 80s wrestlers, it is about wrestlers from space, and hilarity ensues. I would say, so the main character, Rory Landell, he's the hot-headed wrestler rising up in the ranks, expecting his title shot, and we all know how it goes. It's scripted. Rory is thinking he's finally going to get his title shot where he's going to get to hold the belt. And at the last minute, president of the Federation, AWF, which is American Wrestling Federation, is like, nope, I changed my mind. The crowd likes this other cat better. We're going to let him carry it. Rory gets pissed, as usual. He's a wrestler, not an MMA fighter, so he doesn't go out and tip over any buses. Instead, in his pay-per-view pre-show interview on TV, he decides to make himself the Galactic Champion. I think it's a pizza box he just sees that says Galactic on there. Anyway, he makes his own belt and he says he's going to be champion of the galaxy. That transmission is picked up in outer space by a planet called WRESTLETOPIA that is populated by wrestlers, and from what I can tell, only wrestlers. Manifest Destiny, who is evidently champion of that world, takes that challenge personally and comes to Earth. Alien wrestlers come in, they don't understand that Earth is not a world full of wrestlers. So they're just coming in, they are body slamming everybody, suplexing out the wazoo, and searching for Rory Landell, who is basically drowning himself in depression and misery and a bottle. So the world leaders call a meeting to try and figure out what to do about this alien invasion. Well, guess what? So they start arguing about who's the best tag team champions from the different international tag team champion wrestlers. And next thing you know, chairs start flying. Madness and mayhem breaks out amongst the world leaders. Guys, when I'm telling you, I am laughing throughout this entire series. These 5 issues cracked me up. I literally couldn't put them down. So I'm going to tell you, if you get the first one, you need to go ahead and get all 5. And if it is May and the 6th one is out, you need to just go ahead and get it, because you're literally going to go from one issue to the next. Y'all, it is so funny. I enjoyed everything about it. They did so well. The nostalgia was so thick. Rory totally gave me the Rock vibes from when the Rock was still really new to wrestling and he was part of the Nation of Domination. How he kind of was, he was a part of that group, but kind of outgrew it. And then he finally just kind of one night snatched the mic from Farouk and basically singled himself out. And so the way that Rory talks, I mean, his jive, his rhythm totally was giving me the Rock feels. And I was eating it up. Another thing that really connected me to this series on an emotional level is I have been a fan of wrestling since I was a child, and I have my Aunt Margaret to thank for that. My Aunt Margaret, I have not thought about my Aunt Margaret in a long time, and reading these comics about wrestling brought back so many good memories. When I was a little tween, my Aunt Margaret was everything. It seemed to me that she was the family member who cared about me during those years so much. She lived about 45 minutes away from us, but would come get me for a weekend, and she would play console games with me. I mean, she was retired and she had her own Nintendo, and I thought that was so cool. And she would sit there for hours. We would play Mario, Dr. Mario. She got me into watching wrestling, and I have a picture of us, and I have no idea what year this was. I know I'm a teenager, but I have literally no idea what year. And in a previous video, in my 80s book tag video, I showed a picture of when I was a kid, and I had straight hair, and I mentioned about how it like went curly after puberty and we had no idea what to do with it. So you're gonna see that I literally had no idea what to do with my hair. But that is me and my Aunt Margaret at Christmas one year, and she is the lovely lady responsible for my wrestling addiction. She also fed my video game addiction, because she was literally the only other person I think in my life at the time who I knew that played console games. So right now, the only place you can find the issues that are out are on Cosmicology. I'll put a link for you below. They hope once they get the 6th one ready that they can see about getting them in print as well, but that is still a little ways out. I will keep you updated as I find out more, and I'll definitely let you know when issue 6 is available. I am absolutely loving diving into the world of comic books and graphic novels. I hope you are enjoying these videos. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you've read these comics or if you're interested. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.